What's up, everybody? It's Adam and Patty from Rescue Michigan. I think we're going to be joined by Amber soon as well. So happy New Year, everybody. How's it
Happy
going,
New
Patty?
Year, everyone.
Did you have a good Christmas?
Oh, me? Yeah, it was really great. I've
Right
been
on.
off work since the 15th of December. So
Nice.
it's been
Awesome.
quite the
Lucky
extended
you.
vacation. Yeah, last week I didn't even know what day it was. I went up to my hometown on Thursday.
Oh,
Um
nice.
so I was like driving home, and then I got home and I was like scrolling through Instagram, and I saw they posted Happy New Year, Richard. They posted my Pilates studio where I go. They had
Yeah.
a video, and they're like, everyone, great job, you killed it in the TRX class tonight. And I'm like, wow, they added a class on Saturday nights. It was Thursday, but I was just like, I'm so used to, I don't usually go up there
Yeah.
during the week. So anyway, it was kind of funny.
Yeah. I'm getting a lot of birthday wishes today
Oh
because
yeah.
it's not my birthday, but I have a policy of not telling Mark Zuckerberg or Zuckerberg, if you want to call him that, my real information. So I just put down January 1st, 1970 for my date of birth. So
Yeah.
every new year I get happy birthday, Adam. And I'm like, it's actually October 10th. But
Yeah.
thank you. I appreciate you thinking of me.
Drew Lane
But
does that too, from the Drew and Mike show.
yeah,
He's got his birthday on there is January 1st.
yeah. I do January 1st, 1970 is my date of birth because that's the day of that the Unix era began, and like in computers, that's what they say. When the time is zero, that's January 1st, 1970.
Oh,
But
all right.
anyway, yeah, I had a horrible Christmas though. Mine was, I think, the worst I've ever had in my life.
Oh, right.
I managed to get through it, but I'm all right. But no, I had to cancel my plans to see my family because the weather was so bad. And then the day before Christmas Eve, I'm just working at my computer. I'm like, it feels cold in here. And I realized I ran out of propane. So it was Christmas Eve and Christmas evening in the hotel. And then when we got the heat back on the day after Christmas, then it was frozen pipes, bursting pipes, ceiling collapsing, and an absolute utter nightmare. So, but we're back. We're back.
Yeah,
And
it's
and
2023. Happy New
and
Year.
and I'm sad to say that in 2 days they're back too. Congress and the legislature in Lansing are coming back, and I feel kind of bad that we've been quiet this past month. We haven't done a whole lot at Rescue because there hasn't been a whole lot to deal with after the election was over and the legislature was done, but that's coming to a change fast. So buckle up because there's going to be a lot of legislative alerts happening quickly. We just did an email blast saying, I wouldn't be surprised if the Democrats start trying to ram through legislation on the first week. Like, that'd be a thing they would do.
Yeah, I hope you're not giving them any ideas with that list of yours.
Yeah, they don't need my help to come up with that list, believe me. I remember it was the beginning of the legislature, I think 4 years ago it was now. 4 years ago. And the Republicans take their time. There's a couple of months where they're like figuring out committee assignments and all this other stuff.
Oh, everybody loves their committees.
And I remember, so John Riley was named the vice chairman of the Oversight Committee, and Matt Hall was named the chairman of the Oversight Committee, and Cynthia Johnson was named the minority vice chair of the Oversight Committee. And what ended up happening was on the floor of the House, Cynthia Johnson and a couple of the Democrats on the committee came up to Matt Hall and they said, "We want your word that you're not going to ram any bills through this committee right when we start on our first week." And Matt Hall says to her, "Don't worry, Cynthia. I wouldn't do that. We just took our chairman's training today." And Cynthia goes, "Chairman's training? I don't know about any chairman's training." He goes, "Well, that's because you're not the chairman. You're the minority vice chair." She goes, "Minority vice chair?" And she files a formal complaint with Lee Chatfield accusing Matt Hall of racism because she did not know what the word minority means. So so anyway, the Republicans took their time before they started running at bills and all that
stuff.
stuff.
God, we're so slow at everything. I don't get it. Yeah. Hey, Paula.
Well, I mean, there's supposed to be some time. The idea of the whole process is you don't rush things right through. But it wouldn't surprise me if, like, day one, the Democrats are like, "We're overturning right to work."
They're relentless. We know that.
Yeah. I used to work with this guy, Mike Goshka, who was a former senator, and he had to work for a term when the Democrats were in charge. And he was like, "You don't know what it's like when they're in charge. They do not give us even the opportunity to speak in committee meetings or on the House floor. They do not give us any opportunity to bring witnesses. Everything. Oh, hey, there she is. Hey, Amber.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
I think I'm like orange. I don't know. I'm so orange, but
Yeah, you got to work on your lighting situation.
yeah, I do. How are you?
Hi, Happy New Year.
I'm great. It was a tough Christmas, but it's been a lot better lately. I am now the executive director of the Washtenaw County GOP, and
Yay!
we just got a new office and have spent the last few days moving things in, and it's been and that's always fun, I mean, it's work, but it's fun kind of work, organizing things and going through old stuff and throwing the old
Sounds
stuff
like it was
out.
like opening a time capsule a little bit, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was thinking, like, I don't know how far back our party history goes, but now we're finding like old files and minutes of committee meetings. We found, it's funny because we didn't even used to have an executive director. And I didn't know how far back that went. We found a binder that had minutes of a 1999 executive committee meeting and said Terry Linden resigns as executive director. And we looked at their budget for that year was like $50,000, and we're like, oh man, things have gotten bad over the years, and we're looking forward to turning things around. So it's going to be an exciting year, I think. How are you, Amber? How was your Christmas and New Year's?
Good, really good. Busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like today I was working because it's like I have a huge job now as executive director of the Oakland County. So with the new administration, it's really exciting.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that for sure. And I did talk in the email recently about things coming up, and the argument's starting to ram through bills, and a lot of people are, I think, just totally despondent. They're like, oh, we're going to get gun control and we're going to get this and this and this. And that's not the way things always work. I mean, the Democrats had power in Washington this past 2 years. They didn't get the gun control they wanted. They didn't get the national election law they wanted. And a big part of that is they are, hold on. My stalker is in the chat. Hold on.
What was this comment?
Nothing.
I guess I'm an Oompa Loompa spy, maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, maybe she's talking about you. I don't know. So
I'm sure I'll get it on a Facebook chat later.
Yeah. And no, I don't know. I don't know if blocking people deletes the comment. Whatever.
I haven't blocked her yet. Maybe I should block her now.
That's probably a good idea. That's a story for another day, folks. But anyway, here's the reality, people. If you think the Democrats are going to pass everything that they could possibly want, the thing is they have one of the same afflictions that the Republicans have. They are deathly afraid of losing their majority, and it really does matter when they hear from people. People tell me all the time, I don't send in letters to my politicians because they're Democrats and they're not going to pay attention to them anyway. Tell you what, when I worked in Congress, we paid attention to the letters the Democrats sent us because we're counting how many votes are in play, Right. And that was a seat that we did lose 4 years later, and they don't like having tons and tons of angry constituents, and every controversial vote they take, they're causing some of that. So are they going to, overturning right to work? Yeah, of course they'll do that because it's a foundational thing for the radical left. But other stuff, gun control. In 2013, we had the same configuration in Congress we have coming in right now. Democrat president, Democrat Senate, Republican House. And they were desperate to pass gun control that year. That was after Sandy Hook. And there was like thousands and thousands and thousands of calls coming from both sides of the issue. At the end of the day, guess what happened? We got no gun control, and we had one of the biggest winning years ever in 2014. We took, I think, net 9 seats in the House, 3 seats in the Senate. We picked up a couple of governor races. When else did gun control happen? 1994, the assault weapons ban. What happened then? The Republican Revolution, Gingrich came in. They took power. I mean, Democrats don't want to see a repeat of that. So when people say, oh, don't sign these petitions.
Elections aren't going in similar. The trends aren't holding anymore, though, but we'll see.
Well, a big part of things is with the politicians, it's about, they are Pavlovian dogs who respond to pain and pleasure, but they're also people, and they respond to the things around them. And when their phones are lighting up and getting angry calls from constituents, it does affect them. It really does.
We should have more people have angry calls and do angry calls.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember, working in Riley's office, we got calls, thousands of them, from the teachers' unions. They don't just not call us because we're a Republican. They
should have angry call day at the county, offices, and just have people come in and call their.
That's a great idea. Absolutely, we should. I agree 100%.
I think actually no, I think it's a really good idea. Like,
Yeah, that absolutely is.
Mhm.
That's a great way to get people into the office and making calls too. Which, I mean, would you like to make a phone call to talk to a stranger from your precinct? No, thanks. Would you like to call Lansing to scream at this politician? Yeah, okay. With a bunch of other people. Yeah, that sounds good.
sounds like
You know?
sounds like a party. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, totally. So, yeah, we are going to be reintegrating the Watchdog project. We are going to be putting out an email tomorrow encouraging everybody to sign up for that, because one of the things that we did, we had a project, an Operation Watchdog, where people would watch these committees and monitor bills, because every committee is too much work for anybody to do, but one person can keep track of all the bills coming into a committee, especially because now we're starting from zilch. There are no bills in any committee right now. There will be starting very, very soon. And that's an opportunity for everybody to get involved in taking charge of watching what happens in one committee and figuring, okay, what bills are serious, what bills are not, what bills are problematic, what bills we have to watch out for. Oh God, hold on. All right, sorry about that, folks. I have a stalker, for those who don't know. It's a long story, but anyway. All right, so I don't know, is there anything else we want to talk about before we get to our winners and losers of 2022?
Did we talk about the chair race yet? Happy New Year, Rachel.
Chair race. I think that might come up in some of our topics on the winners and losers, but I don't know. Do you want to talk about the chair race in any particular fashion? Anything going on? John Smith. John, you must have missed the beginning. Today is not my birthday, John. I do not tell Mark Zuckerberg what my real birthday is, but thank you. It's nice to know that you're seeing on Facebook that today is my birthday.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Wes Matheny asks, how do you, oh, by the way, I'll have to remember to look up to the Rumble chat as well. Wes asks, how do you find these committee videos on demand? Well, usually what you do is the State House and Senate web pages have links. There's a House video link page where they have all these videos archived. Now, the question is, with the Democrats having taken over, are they going to change the website dramatically? Because they could, and those links may change. But I don't know. I wonder. Let's just see. I'm looking at the house.mi.gov website right now just to see what it looks like. It probably looks awful. House TV. Well, there's still the video archive there. Oh, an error. Okay, yeah. So imagine that. Here, I'll show you what I'm looking at. Share screen. Yeah. So you just go to Michigan House, you go to House TV, you go to the video archive, and nada. So let's see. Michigan Senate. Let's try this one. Senate. Where are they? Media, maybe? Nope. They appear to have destroyed all of their archives. But maybe not. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, wait, here we go. House Session TV broadcasting schedule. Okay, they've got old ones here. So how far back these go, I don't know. But they are still available.
Maybe drop that in the chat, that link. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, these things all may change, though. So we'll see. That was where you would go to see the House and Senate video archives. And they have live streams there too, so that's where you'd go for that. But it can be confusing. What I would say, what typically is going to happen, and I don't imagine they would change this, is any given committee meets usually the same time and date every week. And if you're trying to find the feed, they don't always have live video in there because they only have a certain number of video streams. But you can contact the committee clerk and ask, hey, is there a video for this upcoming hearing, or was there a video for this, and how do I find it? So I can't imagine the Democrats would change that because, it's basic transparency. So I don't think that's going to change. So,
Hi, John Smith.
Yeah. Rachel says, I've got spam from Slotkin's office since hashtag build back better. Yeah. Well, I mean, they all do that. There's no question about it. When we're in office, we send out spam too, I mean, to people that were on our list or whatever. And I shouldn't say we send out spam. We send out emails saying, here's our update. If someone contacts our office, we assume they want to hear from us, and everyone does that. So, all right, is it time? I feel bad. We had no cold open this week. I couldn't find a single video worth using for a cold open. There's been nothing. There was no Senate. There was no legislative hearings. There was like
holidays. It was the holidays.
Holidays. Yeah, I don't know.
The week off, I guess.
saw a horrible video of El Paso, Texas, and what a third world country it's been turned into. But I don't want to start the show with that. Oh, Rachel's got a link right there. So
Thank you,
if you
Rachel.
folks on YouTube or Rumble, it's cloud.cast.us.tv/VOD/MI Senate ? Page equals in caps home. So apparently that's where it is. So, all right. Anyway. All right. Are we ready for the biggest winners and losers of 2022? I should say, the reason why I decided to do this is the other day I saw this list. I'm finding it now so I can show it to you guys. Federalist.com, which is just a conservative website. They had this list of the biggest winners and losers of 2022. And I thought, man, these are some awful choices they picked. I'm not going to read all of these off, but just scrolling down through them. They had different staffers pick different ones. So this guy picked detransitioners for the winner, which, I mean, it's nice they're speaking out. I don't know what that means. They've won. Mitch McConnell for a loser. Well, he's still the leader in the Senate for the minority now.
Just like you
Unborn
wanted
babies
it.
are the winner. Not in Michigan, they're not. FBI is the loser. How? What accountability did the FBI ever have? Nothing. They just got a whole pile of more money. Ron DeSantis, yeah, he is a winner. That's a good pick. Losers, Wyoming Democrats because of Liz Cheney. Ha ha ha. Very funny joke. Winner is American Restorationist, according to this guy. What are you talking about? Clarence Thomas. What did he win? He's a Supreme Court justice and he still is today. I mean, okay, he wrote an opinion that was great, but yeah. Losers, COVID, jab manufacturers. Oh no, we'll talk about that a little bit. Winner, Top Gun Maverick. Yeah, it made money. I don't know if that makes it the biggest winner of the year. Winner, Fauci's Beagles. If you're looking for that as your winner of the 2022, I think you're scraping pretty low. Losers, American Children. Yes, they are.
I think that was the point of that one,
yeah.
at least.
Maybe so. This is a funny one. Winner is Carhartt because they're expanding their operations of Michigan with the help of considerable taxpayer subsidies. Okay, so thank you. Thank you. That's great. Thanks to the massive tax subsidies that makes Carhartt a winner. Winner of government money. That makes them a winner, huh? Winner is Newlyweds. Losers. Okay, yeah, loser is Disney. I think we're going to touch on that for sure. This guy picked winner and loser both to be Molech / I mean, anyway, this is a joke. So, all right, folks. So never mind this garbage. Let's talk about the serious winners and losers.
And in all fairness, it's kind of like you have to laugh or you're gonna cry. So I actually get all of that.
Yeah. This is true. All right. Well, let's kick it off, folks. All right. I'm going to start with, I got a winner for 2022, Lucas Gerhard. How about that? You guys remember the story of Lucas Gerhard? That was the guy who was thrown in jail, charged with a 20-year felony for the crime of making a joke about his legally owned rifle, and then spent the next 3-ish years under house arrest, awaiting trial. Well, Lucas is free today. And the reason he's free is because so many of us called into that courthouse demanding that we live stream that entire trial so the whole world can see what a joke this whole case was. That they gave him a deal that was so good he couldn't refuse, that he could basically just stay out of trouble for a year and you walk free and we'll have it expunged from your record. So thanks to you guys, and thanks to the blazing sun of public scrutiny, Lucas got, I wouldn't quite say justice because he still lost 3 years of his life, but he got freedom. And that was a big, big win for him. So I would say that is a huge winner of 2022. That's my first one. I don't know. What do you guys have? I think we should do a loser next. Does anyone want to do a loser now? I've got some losers. All right.
Patty. Well, let Patty go.
All right,
Oh,
I've got a
me?
loser. I've got my list handy.
Okay.
Branch Covidians. Branch Covidians. Big loser of 2022. They're walking around America right now, seeing everyone walking around without their masks, and they're all pissed off. Oh, look at all these people. Look at all these people not being safe anymore. Rah, 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 rah. They've been losing court cases.
What did you call them?
Branch Covidians. You know, because like
They're like the Branch
Davidians,
Davidians, like they're in a cult, like because they're still so obsessed with COVID.
which is actually probably not fair to the Branch Davidians. The people in Waco that Bill Clinton murdered were called Branch Davidians. So the COVID cult is called the Branch Covidians. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I should have. You're probably not the only person who didn't get that, Amber. So for anyone who was confused, yeah, I'm talking about the COVID crazies, the COVID worshiping cultists, the people that are triple, quadruple, quintuple vaxxed, are now seeing story after story. The vaccines don't help at all. The vaccines are killing people.
They're still thinking they're vaccines.
They're
That's
seeing
what-
all
you know,
the
they
all
have
the
that
scientists that
saying,
were kicked
I'm
off
so
of Twitter coming
grateful that
back
I'm
on.
vaxxed. Yeah.
Yeah. They're losing in court. The military vaccine mandate got thrown out by a court, and so it's been a bad
well,
year
it's
for
too
these
late
cultists.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
no.
didn't reinstate them though, right?
I think they did. I think they were to back pay even, if I recall
Wow.
correctly.
I don't know. I don't
see.
know.
Military mandate. Oh, I'm gonna look this up because
I saw even on Twitter, people still for like Thanksgiving and Christmas were still like wanted people to get tested still before coming over for the holiday. Like these people are permanently damaged.
They just need to cut them out, cut family out like that. You don't need that toxicity in your life. New year,
New year, new
Yeah.
family.
right? I feel like I did that this year. That was great.
Yeah.
I do feel like,
It's insane. Like it's
yeah.
just insane.
my new political family. Sad as that is. You were my political family.
Yeah. Oh no, what I was looking at, what I was thinking was a New York court ordered the rehiring and back pay for the unvaccinated workers that were fired.
Right. For the
So-
police officers. Okay.
Yeah. So the public employees, they got their back pay. So a bad year for the COVID wackos that suddenly they've realized they've just been on and maybe all of them don't realize it. I mean, that's part of being in a cult is you're just continually delusional. So
Well, thankfully people are waking up a little bit though. Some
Yeah.
here and there, right?
yeah.
That
Tom
was-
Banks says Ann Arbor Public Library employees are still mandated to wear masks. I'll bet those employees wouldn't even mind wearing masks. I don't know. I actually knew somebody. I had a friend who used to work at the Ann Arbor Public Library who was a total flaming leftist who lived with people who were total COVID lunatics, who I actually had to spring out of her house for after she was locked down in her house for 3 months because her roommates wouldn't let her bring anybody over or do anything. And I took her up north and she's seeing these people who are not wearing masks. Oh my God, it's like they're all normal here. But as soon as she got back, she just relapsed into being a complete liberal left-wing crazy. So and it's sad, but I mean, that's the nature of a cult is you are delusional.
Yeah.
And the only way you get over that is when eventually it gets too painful. So Rachel asks, do you guys think we're going to get locked down again anytime soon? And if so, how will it bide for the citizens of Michigan? I doubt it. I don't think so. But we'll see. I mean, the crazies are in charge. One of the things that they're talking about is having some kind of bill to codify the authority of the health department to do that. But I think politically they're realizing it's too dangerous to actually impose any more lockdowns, absent some even crazier pretext. But I don't know. I don't think that's going to be likely to happen.
Oh, I like Barry Doherty's. That was a good one.
Barry
Winner.
says, winner, Brandon Township voted down recreational marijuana establishments. Well, yeah, I think, yeah, probably so. Not winner for the marijuana establishments, but winner for townships being able to decide these things, I suppose.
Yeah. I like to know that something can get voted down again still.
Yeah. Yeah. Marianne says, put on your goal list, stop Gretchen's plan to kill Michigan's right to work law. Marianne, I'd love to, but I don't like to give people unrealistic goals.
In all fairness, and I will play devil's advocate here, Marianne,
Sure.
is with this right to work getting repassed or whatever, because again, I wasn't involved when it was the fight. Like Adam, I'm sure you were around for right to work, weren't you?
I was there on day one. I was in the meeting where it was Pat Colbeck and Mike Shirkey and Trucker Randy and Vincent from the Mackinac Center. I was in the room when they initiated that plan to pass right to work in Michigan. Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that maybe the stronghold that the unions and the Dems have together will be loosened a little bit. And that's my positive outlook on that is maybe we could stop having the union stronghold.
Yeah.
And then maybe the Republicans sit at the table,
Yeah. And I think more and more union workers are going to figure out that unions are not representing their interests at all. They're just an adjunct of the Democrat Party. I mean, really,
They should already know
do
that.
steelworkers really support radical transgender ideology?
They should already know that, though. But with this stronghold kind of loosening, maybe it gives us a seat at the table to be like, hey, look, you're doing this to your schools because of unions and blah blah blah. Let's take it back to the center. You already have your right to work that's lifted. Can we go back to normal life stuff, please?
Yeah.
It just lets us have a seat at the table as Republicans, I think, without this taking over it.
Yeah, the thing that concerns me is like we talked about this in the email. There's Republicans in swing districts who are being pressured now to actually support with the Democrats repealing right to work, and they're going, "Oh, you're in a union district. You're in a blue collar seat. It's a tough seat. You should definitely vote with the union bosses."
No, that's just a ploy to get it to look nonpartisan. We all know that one now.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. Like, there's a saying. Whenever a politician or member of the political class tells you anything, you have to ask them how they benefit if you believe it. And the simple fact is, number one, if you're a Republican representing a blue collar swing union district, your job is to stand for our values and help educate and enforce and advocate for them. We're not going to ever get our policies if you can't defend them, And secondly, by the way,
right.
Do you honestly think the Democrats are not going to go after you if you vote for the union bills? No, they're going to go after you for whatever else they want to go after you for. If they have nothing to go after you about, they'll lie. They'll make shit up. How many fake scandals have the Democrats invented over the years? You think you're gonna beat your mortal enemies by placating them? Fat chance. So, Ruth says another topic. Your take on the Brunson case. We're getting to that, Ruth. We'll get to that. Anyway, all right, that's all I got for Branch Covidians. Shall we move on? We need another winner. Patty, you got a winner for us?
Yeah, I mean, kind of a take on that is like there are still like kind of prominent people that are waking up from all that stuff. So I think the walkaway movement continues, and there's been winners. I think the major one was Tulsi Gabbard this year.
Yeah.
She's a good voice to have, like kind of in the middle and speaking normally. Tim Robbins, I don't know if you guys all saw that video of him on the Russell Brand show.
I have that clip. Let me
talking about his experience being in LA and then traveling throughout the Midwest and then ended up in the UK and London. And
let me play the clip. Let me see
play
if,
it. Okay.
Yeah, let me know if you can hear it. Okay.
Okay. No sound.
No sound? Okay. I think I know how to fix this. This has happened before and I've learned. It has to be shared as a what? As a tab, not a window. And that changes it for some reason. I don't know why that works, but it seems
Stay free with me, Russell Brand.
Why did you feel it necessary to speak out against some of the measures that took place socially during the period of the pandemic? What was important and significant about it for you?
Well, first, let me say that I didn't at first. I bought into it. I was someone that I went through a pretty unique experience in Los Angeles, and was locked down there. I have a nonprofit theater company that had to shutter, and we started doing our work online. And I was masking everywhere. I was keeping my social distance. So I was adhering to the requests made of me. And I felt, angry at people that didn't do that. I felt angry at there was a protest in Orange County. I remember people that didn't want to put masks on. I'm very angry about that. And as time progressed, I eventually got out of Los Angeles. I drove cross country and saw areas of the country that were not adhering to the policies. And eventually wound up isolating myself in New York State for a good 7 months. And it wasn't until I came to the UK in January of 2021 that I started to have questions. And I was here on a job, and I noticed that people, this was in the midst of the worst part of the lockdown here, and I noticed a lot of people were not adhering, again, to these requests made by their government. And
requests.
I thought, well, they're going to have a hard day coming up, that there will be some serious death here. And, I kept my I kept my mask on and I kept adhering to the policies. But it wasn't until much later that I started to have questions. And when I saw that there wasn't a huge death rate here after I'd witnessed personally what was happening, I started to wonder more and more about what we were being told and whether it was true or not. And so it took a while for me to speak about it.
All right, we'll stop it there because it's a long clip.
Yeah, it's a long video. He just goes on to say how,
Yeah.
you know, that he started wondering, and then it went on about once the vaccine, whatever, injection, once, you know, you could still catch it, right? And then that made him be like, okay, well, why we still have mandates? And then when they changed the definition of vaccine, you know, just all the things that we were like, hello. So anyway,
Yeah.
So that video just came out. I mean, it sounds like he talks about his whole, you know, revolution since like 2021. And then who else is
I mean, I
Naomi
think
Wolf. I mean, Naomi Wolf's been on
Yeah.
it since like the very beginning as well, but she continues to be a strong voice about it too. So
Yeah.
I'm saying these people are become Republicans, but they're
but there's a core constituency of the left that's starting to realize that the Democrats are not their friends at all, and it's the best of them. It's like
even
Glenn Greenwald.
Elon Musk too.
Elon Musk, absolutely, yeah. He's the one that came out and said, "I've always voted Democrat."
He's like, I've been independent, but I've always voted Democrat. But then, but he's
exactly
not anymore. Yeah. So
Yep.
Winners walk away.
Yep. Let's see. What else do we got here? I've got one. Christopher Rufo has been just absolutely killing it with exposing what's been going on in the schools. First with critical race theory, now more recent with radical gender theory. And they've been knocking out school boards left and right all over the country, and big ones too. I mean, people are saying, "Oh, well, we didn't overthrow a local school board." He was overthrowing them in like Broward County, Florida, which is, you know, humongous.
Mm-hmm.
And really, I think, and in the process, waking up so many parents to what's really going on in schools. So I give him an award for that one. I think he's
Not
done
around
great.
here. Well, some of them, not Plymouth Canton.
Well,
we got one.
there's more organizing to be done. That's just all
Yeah.
there is to it. But a lot of people are walking away from their schools too and starting to either go to homeschooling or private schooling or something else, you know, but they just can't stand what's happening to these children.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what else do we have here? Amber, do you want to do the next one?
Sure. So
We got-
mine's more you know, cynical. That's
Sure.
for Matt. You know, I think a big winner was Zelensky. Big winner of you know, the money that he got out of our government. And yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I would expand that. I'd say Zelensky and the American military industry. They got a huge boost of our taxpayer dollars to the tune of what, 100 billion, something like that. Like most of that money was, you know, for our weapons, although a lot of it was for Ukrainian bureaucrats too.
Yeah.
And I would say I would pair that with the losers would be the American taxpayers and the people of Ukraine, because all they're doing is prolonging a war that is killing Ukrainians by the thousands every day, and while they're freezing and starving, you know.
Yeah, but all they keep reporting is how Russia is losing.
Yeah, well, their reporting doesn't make it true, unfortunately. In fact, I would say Russia is a big winner of this year. I mean, I have never seen the conventional wisdom in a war is you go into someone else's country, you invade somebody else, you're going to lose more than they are because they have the advantage of defense, right? That's what usually happens in a war. Russia somehow is building up bigger and bigger and bigger as the time goes on and just having more weapons. And meanwhile, our country, we keep saying, and you see in the media from day one, they're like, oh, Russia's going to run out of missiles soon. They're going to run out of missiles soon. Instead, the missile attacks are getting like more and more and more and more and more. They're like, it's going to end as soon as Russia's economy collapses and the ruble goes higher and higher and higher. Like Russia's going to be completely isolated from the world. And like Russia's like forming deeper alliances with China. Russia's brokered a peace deal between Turkey and Syria. I mean, they're just going all over the world, building this huge alliance, you know, compared with the EU and NATO, which is seeing the European economy collapse. You're seeing governments in Europe being overthrown. And I think the and countries are now saying we'd love to give Ukraine more weapons, but we're just about out. It's like, oh,
They can only account for like 10% of them, right? Some crazy
Well,
number too.
yeah. Once they go to Ukraine, they're turning up in like the Middle East. My
Wow,
God.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah. I mean,
That's
the
mine.
American media can say whatever they want about Russia, but the facts speak for themselves. So
Mhm.
all right, what else we got? Big loser this year, I would say, is Hollywood and Disney, because no one wants to see their garbage anymore.
True story. I went out
Huh.
I go off on tangents every time I see something that my kids
No,
turn
go
on.
ahead.
Oh, the other night, they put on this Strange World, and I was like 10 minutes in, and I'm watching this, and I'm kind of analyzing the situation. There's this guy, and they have like a weird, awkward like exchange, and then he's walking away with his dad, and he goes, "I remember my first crush son. He's cute," and I go, "Turn off, turn off!" I freaked out, and
Gross.
then I wrote an email to Disney, and then I proceeded to Google this movie, and it lost $100 million.
Nice.
So it took 180 million to produce it, and it only made 80 million.
Yeah.
They lost $100 million.
What about AOC's movie that made like
and-
$86,000 or something? Did you hear about that?
I don't
You know what this
know.
always reminds me of when these things happen? Do you guys ever see that movie Network from 1976? You haven't seen Network, Patty?
No.
It is my number one favorite movie of all time. All right, well, I'm gonna tell you guys for the benefit of the, and I'm gonna try not to ruin it because it is one of the
Okay,
best
because I'm
movies
gonna
ever
go watch
made.
it. Yeah.
It's literally brilliant. Well, it's about a TV network.
Oh, you told me
And-
about this.
And the basic story is this guy on the network goes crazy, and then his show becomes popular. And then he
Never
gets
stop
himself in
yawning.
trouble by pointing out these dirty business dealings of the network executives. So this network executive calls him into his stockholders room, and he's like, "You have meddled with the forces of nature, Mr. Beale." And anyway, he gives him this whole routine, and he totally turns the guy around. And so the guy starts spewing what they call the corporate cosmology of I forget the guy's name. He's played by Ned Beatty. Anyway, and so the show starts losing all its money, and the people at the network are freaking out, and they're like, "This show is a complete disaster. Oh my God, all of our profit margins are going in the toilet. What are we going to do? What are we going to do?" And so the executive of the network goes meet with the chairman of the board, and he's like, "We got to get rid of the show." And the guy's like, well, he comes back in the meeting, and he explains to them, he's like, "Mr. Wade is of the opinion that the show doesn't need to make money. He believes that Mr. Beale has an important message for the American people, and he wants him kept on the air. He doesn't care if the show makes money or not. He wants the American people to hear it." And I always think about that when I see all these woke movies losing money hand over fist, and they just can't stop making them, because that's the purpose of them. They're just propaganda, and they don't care if they don't make money. They want to lose money. But what ends up happening is people hate Disney, people hate Hollywood, and people are taking their money elsewhere. They're voting with their feet, and that's a great thing. So anyway, sorry for that tangent. Go see Network, folks. It's an amazing
Go see
movie.
it.
All right, what's up next? Patty, you got another one for us?
Yeah. So, loser is Canada.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
the
The Canadian
continued.
trucker protests.
Well, the truckers are winners in my heart. I love the
Yeah.
truckers. That was
I
like
think so. They're heroes.
awesome. Their video when they'd always play Twisted Sister and We're Not Gonna Take It, and there's like you're like cheering them on and just honk,
Yeah.
honk, honk. They drove everybody crazy. It was amazing. But the country of Canada is just unreal. Like, so the border finally opened for the dirty, unclean people on October 1st. And so
For the
I was
who?
over there in October at a function, and it boggled my mind how they were still talking about it. Well, we haven't been together in 2 years. Like, they were literally like, even up until whenever, just
God.
like not getting together and all just like scared stuff. Like, it was crazy. So Canada, big loser. Trudeau, big loser.
My God, yeah.
Yeah.
They must be so embarrassed for themselves. I remember, Viva
They're
Frey,
not.
who's this,
They're not, because they think they're so nice.
they're nice.
right?
Yeah.
So then,
I don't know. I went to
so the
Canada a
flip
few
side
years
of
ago,
that,
and I went on a hiking trip in Canada. It's a beautiful place, but
oh yeah, I've got family there, like all over
I
now.
would never go visit Canada again. 'Cause
Out west, they're more conservative, like in Alberta,
yeah,
but all around here, no.
I wouldn't feel safe there. You know, I would never go back. Not with the bastard son of Fidel Castro in charge. So,
Who loves dictatorships? Do you remember that video when he was like, the best thing about China, like, they can just implement whatever they want because,
Yeah.
they don't,
yeah, friendly fascism.
Yeah.
They're so polite and so nice,
right.
and they're
Yeah.
also tyrannical
Take
monsters.
off, eh? So,
Yeah.
yeah. So on the flip side, then, who's the winner and continues to win? The state of
Yep.
Florida.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um,
Viva moved out of Canada.
Yes, Viva Frei,
our
if anyone
favorite
who watches
Canadian
Viva.
YouTuber.
yeah.
And where is he going to go? Where else is he going to go? Florida. of
Who else
course.
moved? Michaela Peterson moved to Nashville.
Yeah.
Jordan
didn't know
Peterson's
that.
daughter.
Yeah.
And I'm sure many more too, obviously, not just like those are just two kind of higher profile names, I guess. But well, obviously, if DeSantis won by 20 points, I mean, we
DeSantis
own the
is killing it,
voter
man.
registrations, just like everything, all the school boards all around.
DeSantis is a winner of the year,
Tampa, St.
too.
Pete, Miami. I mean, all of that was the huge school board flips were down there, like you mentioned. So
Yeah. And the other huge thing DeSantis did that he doesn't get enough credit for, he saved the House of Representatives in Washington. Remember the Republicans
well,
in
he
Florida
fought
said,
for good maps.
Yeah, the Republicans in Florida said, here, use this wimpy map. And he's like, screw that, threw it in the garbage and rewrote the maps and picked up a whole bunch of new seats. Between that and the other thing was Lee Zeldin in New York.
Lee Zeldin in New York.
Yeah, he didn't win outright, but his support raised up enough candidates to flip seats in New York that we held the House.
Yeah. Otherwise, we
They're not
wouldn't have
since
even held the House.
won the
Yeah.
House.
Thanks to Kevin
Yeah.
McCarthy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The flip side of that would be Donald Trump. By the way, Amber, you're muted if you didn't know that.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to.
No, go on your Donald Trump rant. You're good.
I mean, what has he been doing? It's
Saying stupid shit.
it's just one thing after another. Do you see what it was today? He threw the pro-life movement under the bus.
I saw
He
that.
said it was their fault we lost.
Yeah.
I mean, he was never very much pro-life at all.
He wasn't.
But he put on a good act. But he just burned another bridge. I mean, you would think being out to pasture, he would have learned a few things in the past 2 years, and he just keeps digging and digging and digging himself deeper, and it's just mind-boggling. Like, and other people, and I know Shane's not here, but he would say, well, he's still ahead in the polls, and he's the one that's got to win the nomination. Well, maybe so, but he's only making it harder for us to win the presidency if that's going to be the case. I mean, What is he doing? It just gets more and more bizarre.
Makes you wonder.
Yeah, it does make you wonder.
I don't know. I adore you both, though. I am going to sign off and go be with my kids. Sundays are hard, but I adore you guys. And I want to talk about the chair race soon. I really do. Like that's on my mind.
All right. Well, I mean, you know what? It'll still be going on next week, and I'm sure we'll have more to talk about.
So next week will be my big comeback. I'll have better lighting, and yeah, you guys, I don't even know half the winner and loser list. You guys are making me feel just dumb because I'm here in my county and I don't get out of it very often.
What?
I emailed to you and put it in the private chat, but it's okay.
That was good. Okay, guys, Happy New Year.
Bye.
All right, Happy New Year.
Bye.
Good night. All right. Well.
I'm way over
All right.
here.
What else we got? I got a big winner for us.
Oh yeah.
Free Speech Online had a great year this year between Elon Musk taking over Twitter, Rumble having some great new programs and their stock going up and up and up and up. Substack is now like the place for independent journalism. Amber will have to see that message from Paula there.
Yeah.
We suddenly have the ability to speak in a way we didn't used to have. I mean, and by the way, John, you made this comment earlier saying he lost $1 billion. Well, Alex Jones didn't have $1 billion to begin with. And yeah, it was a rigged trial. It wasn't even a trial for that matter. It was an outrageous decision by a corrupt judge, no question about it. But first of all, Alex Jones's life will go on. I mean, they're not going to be able to, a lot of his assets. I mean, Texas has all kinds of great asset protection rules in place. They're not going to take his house. They're not going to take things that he doesn't totally own. Alex Jones will be okay. In fact, I heard that Alex Jones was going to retire and pass the torch on to other people, but for this case, and now he's like, fuck this, I'm in until the end. So
there's a video floating around of him today, all shirtless and stuff. Did you see that?
no, I didn't see that, but I did see him on something recently. Yes, it was a horrible trial, but it exposed how corrupt the American judicial system is. It ultimately only lead to Alex Jones keeping on speaking. So, yeah.
Yep.
And I should also say, even though it was a complete travesty and an injustice what they did to Alex Jones, what he did say was really fucking stupid about Sandy Hook. And maybe it'll teach them people to think twice before they say dumb things.
Okay,
So,
but
I said,
we all say
notwithstanding that
stupid
it was an
things.
injustice,
yeah.
but saying things like Sandy
So,
Hook didn't happen.
Yep. Yeah,
And-
Don Mitchell
And
said.
I understand he only
Canada
did it
used to
once.
be
I
tough.
understand he apologized and retracted and all this other stuff. I get all of that. Yeah, Barry Doherty says Will Smith loser. Yeah.
I forgot
Yeah.
about that. Yep.
Thank you, Barry.
Ohio State losers. Michigan lost too, but
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if you want to talk about last night's game. That was something.
oh god, it was awful.
Yeah, I hadn't even heard of Texas Christian University before that night, but man.
Yeah.
And I know you're a huge U of M fan, Patty, but it's a nice up and comer story for them, so whatever. And there was a psychological thing going on there too. U of M went into that game, they were arrogant going in and thinking you're gonna stomp these guys.
I don't know what
You
they were
could-
thinking. They were not
You could see it in
prepared.
some of their plays. Like TCF knew exactly how to use
TCF.
their or TCU, I mean, not TCF. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah,
big
you guys
winners and
keep
free-
typing in the chat too. Like we did
Yeah,
our
yeah.
lists and stuff, but please chime in.
Oh,
Yeah,
speaking
for
of that,
sure.
I've been neglecting the Rumble chat. Todd Priest asks, do you think the leftists will mandate the jab in Michigan? I don't think they can, but we'll see. I don't think they will try. I think they know that would be a bad move politically. But again, if they try it, it'll be something we're going to fight hard on. And I think it's a fight we could win if it comes to it.
I hope so. Yep, Barry, you're right. Pick six, 2 of them. There's a
And Mary
28
Henman
point.
also says, Happy New Year.
28
Can
point
you
swing.
give me the link to support Lucas's legal fund? Thanks. Mary, let me get back to you on that because I created Lucas's GoFundMe for his trial and they have switched to Give, Send, Go. So I think he's got a new one now. But I will put up the GoFundMe link. And I know you guys are right to point out GoFundMe is an evil company and we should be using Give, Send, Go. But we created this fund before GoFundMe even started going after the truckers. And who else did they attack? They attacked someone. Oh, then and Kyle Rittenhouse. Those were the two big things. Was they banned Kyle Rittenhouse's
Well,
legal
yeah,
defense.
for people if you made a donation to the truckers in Canada, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot
Yep.
about that. It's another reason
So-
Canada's a loser because they froze people's assets, which is
Yep.
where we're headed. With all the
Yeah,
digital
they're an enemy
currency.
of everything the modern justice system stands for, including being innocent until proven guilty.
Mhm.
So this was the original fundraiser. So if you can't quite see this on the screen, you can go back and pause it.
Yes, Richard.
LaChance
Yep.
says also a loser for the gun ban, right? So yeah, it's hard to see. GoFundMe.com/F
Ooh, Richard.
slash blah blah blah. Anyway, there's a link here. Let me see. Hold on. I don't want to take up too much dead air trying to find his Give, Send, Go. But I will make a good college try to find.
All
that
right, you
link.
do that. I'll read a few comments. So Don
Oh, you'll
Mitchell
go ahead and
said
do
Canada used to be tough French Canadian lumberjacks and hockey players. Now a bunch of wimps. Yep. David Howell, winners, open borders, NGOs helping to ruin U.S. sovereignty at the same time they are being paid tens of millions of dollars from U.S. taxpayers. Richard, okay, bye.
All right, I found it, so I can put it back up. This is the link to Lucas's legal defense, his new fund. They should not call it retribution, but there it is. GiveSendGo.com/capital G3FCQ. And there you can find that. So you can donate to the Give, Send, Go. So you can do it that way, and
Can
you're
you
not
find
supporting.
Trump's truth? Tom Banks is asking. He'd like to know why you say Trump has to make up to the pro-lifers.
Yeah, here, let me find the link.
That was today, Tom. Maybe you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I just posted it to our Twitter page, so I'm sure you can find it right there. But here,
Right. Winter Ray-ups 22.
We're
I
going to
saw
talk
a
about
tweet-
that in a minute too.
I saw
actually.
somebody say something about how every January 6th defendant should say Ray-ups made me do it. They should just all have the same defense.
Yeah, no kidding. That's a great idea. Yeah, here you go. This is from Trump.
It's never his
today.
fault, is it? It's not my fault.
Postal and troop told. It wasn't my fault Republicans didn't live up to expectations. It was the abortion issue, poorly handled by many Republicans, especially those that firmly insisted on no exceptions, even in the case of rape, incest, or life of the mother, that lost large numbers of votes. Yeah, sorry for defending our principles, guys. Yeah. Also, the people that pushed so hard for decades against abortion got their wish and just plain disappeared, not to be seen again. What the fuck is he talking about? Never to be seen again. Is he out of
Plus
his
Mitch,
mind?
stupid money.
Yeah. Mitch's stupid money actually was something.
Well, did you
But,
see
I mean,
he's stupid? I was
it's-
233 and 20, but didn't matter in what elections that.
Yeah,
you
by the way,
would've
other people
lost
pointed
anyway?
out this is also a false number he made up too. He takes credit for Chuck Grassley winning. He takes credit for Rand Paul winning re-election.
That's what I'm
He even had
saying.
the audacity to take credit for Thomas Massey winning when Trump endorsed and backed an opponent against Massey.
Yeah, he called him. What do you call him? Not a troublemaker. He called him something.
Who knows? Something he called him. But I mean, and the thing that so offends me about this is that he's literally telling you need to betray your issues and your values. Like, I'll tell you what, I met somebody once. Her name was Rebecca Kiesling. She was conceived in rape. And the only reason that she was and still is alive to this day is because abortion was completely illegal in Michigan. And she says, I am glad I am alive and that my kids were born. And I am so fed up with being cannon fodder for these pro-lifers who say, oh, well, we can't handle that. You should have died and your kids would never been born
Not
because it's too
pro-lifers,
because it's too
pro-choicers.
hard for us to explain this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, and here's the reality. If you say it's okay to be pro-life with the exception of rape and incest, you're not actually pro-life at all. And you're destroying the credibility on the issue. Because what's the point of being pro-life? It's the belief that the baby in the womb has a soul and has rights. If you say, well, you don't have rights if the mother was raped, then what rights do they have at all? Oh, you can totally kill a baby if the dad was a rapist or maybe an alleged rapist. So this is Trump literally telling you, destroy your values, betray your values, and give the other side the ammunition they need to beat you. That's what he's saying. Well, he's really just saying.
Well, he
is,
said it
"Don't
was
blame
also
me, blah, blah, blah."
poorly handled because there is also the issue that like Republicans shied away from it too. So there's
Yeah.
also that, right? In
Yeah.
addition,
Yeah.
So if you're gonna if that's your stance, be able to defend it,
Yeah.
right?
By the way, Tom Banks asks, do you really think pro-lifers defended their position?
yeah.
Tudor always deflected. Tudor got in trouble for being too pro-life. Tudor was the one who said, yeah, I don't believe in exceptions for rape and incest. She could have defended it better, I would say, and then she could have performed better in the debates, especially since we were warning her about that for weeks and weeks before them. That's true. Yeah, she could have done it better, but I wouldn't say she didn't defend her position. And if anything, she should be praised for that, not blamed for it. I think the people who blame her for being too pro-life are the ones who are trying to alienate the one most loyal block of the GOP there ever was. These are the people that have been voting Republican for the past 40 plus years.
But I
And Trump
think the
tells
most
us-
loyal pro-lifers, though, well, not everyone, though, even them, like most of them will speak about it, right? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So maybe he was referring more to like the wishy-washy ones or whatever. They should have just,
Yeah.
stand strong in their convictions, right? But they
Yeah.
just can't.
I mean,
I don't
and the thing always is that when you're going out and advocating for policies, you have to be good and rigorous and know what you're talking about, because the one small mistake will kill you. That's what happened to Tudor. Remember the guy in Missouri who lost to Claire McCaskill because Richard Murdoch, and he was asked about the rape and incest thing, and what he meant to say was like, well, yeah, if it's really rape, but the way it came out was he said, well, if it's legitimate rape.
Oh, legitimate rape. I forgot about that.
And of course, that got spun by the media, and that was what led to his losing. And ultimately, I remember Jon Stewart on The Daily Show made the joke that he was legitimately raped by Claire McCaskill, which was actually funny, which is why The Daily Show deleted that clip from their archive. But anyway, All right, we're getting off topic here.
I know,
so
sorry.
let's get back to it.
Winners and losers.
What were
Where
we
do you-
talking about?
Free
Getting back
speech?
to free speech online, and the loser for that being Meta, Facebook, and Instagram. Their stock is in the shit house because they've been constantly changing their rules and their policies, and people are just walking away from them. So, anyway, we should move on. What else we got here? Oh, David Howell says Trump can be inarticulate. Yeah, but he should have enough time by now to learn. This is the problem. He's been president for 4 years. You don't think the abortion issue came up once or twice? So anyway, here's a winner and loser for you: Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. And I know a lot of people would say that, you know, it's just two crazy Hollywood celebrities. Who cares? The thing that I think is important about that case is that it shows the power of transparency. And what happened was Johnny Depp, I think, sued a newspaper in the UK that published Amber Heard's allegations. And the judge in the UK, they didn't have a trial. They don't have the legal system that we do. The judge just said, I believe Amber Heard, and threw the case out. And in the United States, they went to court and they got a trial by jury. The trial got published. Tons and tons and tons and tons of people watched the trial day after day after day. They heard from all the witnesses. The jurors saw all the witnesses. They saw Amber Heard, and then they found in favor of Johnny Depp. And yeah, it cost a ton of money, cost a ton of time. He's not going to get his judgment, you know, but what he did get back was
he
his
did it for his
reputation.
name.
Yeah, he got his good name back.
Mm-hmm.
And Amber Heard got exposed as a fraud and a liar for all the world to see, rather than her false tale of being abused, which is also, you know, folks, not an uncommon story. The whole believe all women narrative. She was the face of that. Believe all women, no matter how full of shit their story is. And that trial proved that when the facts come out and the people have the ability to see it, justice can actually be done. So I think that was an important case, despite being a claim between two people from Hollywood. So anyway, all right, let's get to the maybe more controversial things now, because we're running out of time. We're at the 10 o'clock hour. So I got one for you. And now I want to get back to our original question. Well, not an original question, but someone asked early in the show, what's your take on the Brunson case? And I actually talked about this case last week, and I said, look, this is a pro se case that's calling for the president to be overthrown, as well as 300 plus members of Congress. It's DOA. Period. And that's about all I said. There's not going to go anywhere, any place at all, because there's no way. I mean, and the argument I made actually was 2 weeks ago. Last week was Christmas. 2 weeks ago, I made the point that the Supreme Court threw out a brilliantly articulated, argued challenge brought by, what was it, like, I think 13 states against other states.
Yeah, it was Paxton, and then other states signed up for it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so if they're not going to even hear that case, what are the odds they're going to hear this one? Mm-hmm. Well, there was a great clip. Let me see if I can find this real quick from Tracy Beans, who made a point about this.
She's back on Twitter. She was gone for a while.
Yeah. But anyway, she posted an article someplace where it's a clip from Robert Barnes. If you guys don't know Robert Barnes, he's this really great attorney who's represented Alex Jones, who's represented Donald Trump, who's represented a bunch of other important people over the years. And he explained, this case has absolutely zero chance of getting anywhere because, well, for all the reasons we just said, the case has no legal merit at all. It's a pro se case. What's been going on is people are being misled into thinking this case has legs because they're told the Supreme Court's going to hear this case on January 6th. The Supreme Court's interested in this case. And what Barnes explained is what people don't realize is the Supreme Court, unlike most courts, to their great credit, they actually really do care about trying to protect the rights of pro se litigants. Pro se means you don't have a lawyer. You're representing yourself. And you're and also in forma pauperis, meaning you're broke. Most courts, you're broke, you don't have a lawyer, too bad. Supreme Court says, no, we really want to hear the legal claims of people, no matter who they are or what access to the legal system they have. So this case got thrown out by lower courts, got thrown out again, it got appealed. And all the Supreme Court's done is given them a hearing that they give every single other case, especially these cases. But he says the proof you have to look at is They didn't ask for the government to answer, because when it's a case the court's thinking about taking up, they ask the government to answer the allegations. But as Boards points out, people have been making money on this case. Brunson's been making money on this case, telling people that this case will answer their hopes and dreams. The reality is, the notion that the Supreme Court would overthrow the president and most of Congress, that would be a constitutional crisis like nothing we've ever imagined before. You think the cowards in the court are going to take that up? No way. But what they have done is gotten a lot of people to contribute to this cause. So I would say a big winner. There is a big winner this past year, and that is grifters. People grifting off the patriot movement, people running for offices they have no chance of running for, people who have raised money for things they have no business raising money for. We're going to recall Gretchen Whitmer. This just goes on and on and on. And there's quite a nice racket for, give me your money. I'll tell you things you want to hear. I'll give you your hopes and dreams. Conversely, what I've done is shattered people's hopes and dreams and lost audience as a result of it. And, get called a rhino and all the rest. But that's the way it goes. I don't care. But yes, it has been a great year for all kinds of grifters, because it's easy to tell people what they want to hear. And if you tell them you've got some unrealistic goal, whether it's recalling Whitmer or impeaching so-and-so or whatever, people open their wallets. And it's sad. In fact, I would say the analogous loser in that is the movement for election integrity in Michigan. Because over the past year, we have seen every single unrealistic thing that they've gone after and lost sight of the most important basic stuff. Going after absentee ballots, signature matches. The same tactics they used in 2020, they used in 2022. But what happened? Did we have poll workers at every polling place? No. Did we have poll watchers at every poll challengers at every polling place? No. What do we have? Let's get Lansing to pass a law for election integrity, which the governor would veto. That's where they spent all their efforts. And then, of course, the election integrity lawsuits. Same story. Support our cause for election integrity because we were going to have this lawsuit. It's like, really? The same courts that have thrown out every other election lawsuit? Yeah, we got a good one this time. And all of it's done is gotten people's hopes and dreams pinned on these lawsuits and pinned on this actions that, at the end of the day, got absolutely nowhere. And then what happens in 2022? The Democrats pull their same schemes. Prop 3. Why weren't they all laser focused on beating Prop 3? I mean, don't get me wrong. There was groups fighting Prop 3. We were one of them. And had we not been so spun around with people doing other stuff and no, do this and 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 do this. If there had been a singular focus on what Prop 3, I'm sorry, not Prop 3, Prop 2. Prop 3 was also atrocious, but Prop 2. If there had been simple, clean messaging, if we'd all been on exactly the same page on what to attack on Prop 2, where the bulk of it was things that are hugely unpopular with voters. Require voter ID. Most people support that. But no, it became, and in part thanks, by the way, to Matt DePerno and Christina Caramo, all about relitigating 2020. And in fact, these same people attacked candidates that said, let's not relitigate 2020, let's go out and think about the future. No, well, we want Matt DePerno rather than Tom Leonard because he's talking about moving forward. Or Matt Leonard's talking about moving forward. Matt DePerno's talking about we need 2020 relitigated. And the result was a complete and utter disaster. So sorry, folks. Hate to be the one to bring you the bad news. But there you go. So all right. Anyway. You sound tired, Patty.
No, I'm just
it's
thinking
frustrating. It really is frustrating. And that brings me to, and then it's kind of piles onto to the last one. A big winner in 2022 were the deep state. And you can talk about Ray Epps being exposed and how much we've done to expose the deep state. Folks, people have been exposing the deep state for the last 40 plus years. In 20 years in the past, most Americans believe that the CIA killed Kennedy. Did that make a dime's worth of difference? No. It has now been proven that the CIA, it's now admitted by the government from the JFK files, the CIA killed Kennedy. Does that change the reality? No. The reality at the present state is the grassroots movement in Michigan could not be doing more exactly what the deep state would want them to do, which might tell you something. mean, we just had this travesty with the Whitmer Fednapping case. You know, where's everyone going out about that? Is anyone calling for the judge in that case to be impeached? No, there's no movement on that. And you don't see any conservative groups talking about that either. You know, no one's talking about how that trial was completely rigged, how what the judge put it in his decision. We're talking, the judge exposed his own bias in the sentencing that just came out the other day. You know, all the legal improprieties, they're all right there for everyone to see. People aren't talking about that though. Nope. It's sad, folks. And you know, I guess this is where we probably talk about the state chair race. And losers both. The GOP establishment have been huge losers this year. The GOP grassroots have been losers this year. Lose. And there's no winner here at all. There is a civil war going on in which there will be no winners. The establishment lost their majorities in the House and the Senate. The establishment in Washington failed to retake the Senate, and the grassroots has failed to produce any candidates that are going to do anything except cause us to lose even more. Look at the state chair race. Not one of these people is qualified to be state chair. Not one. Not one can raise any money. Some of them are insane. We'll probably talk more about this next weekend when Amber's back. But this state convention coming up, you've got people who, I mean, I couldn't even tell you who would be the worst of these state chair candidates. Maybe Matt DePerno. Matt DePerno's whole bailiwick was getting the grassroots to go after the wrong things on election and blah, 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 election integrity. He was the guy who was like, yeah, so don't focus on the absentee ballots and the signature matches and all this stuff. Focus on the voting machines. His lawsuit got thrown out because it didn't have any merit, frankly. Never found anything from the gnomes of Zurich, hacking into the election. His lawsuit got tossed. He appealed it. That was his whole campaign message: is vote for me because I'm your fighter on election integrity. Fighting to lose. Now he wants to be state chair. The grift goes on. You know how much money the state chairs get? I think it's $170,000 a year job. That's why they're running. That's why Christina Caramo is running. That's why these other wackos are running. They want that paycheck. It's aggravating. So there's no winners here at all. And don't get me wrong, I hate the establishment. There's some third way people. You don't have to choose between the rhinos and the wackos. How about disciplined, serious people that pay attention and are?
They don't want to run.
I know they don't want to run. I've begged them to run. I've begged Rob Steele to run. I've begged Tudor Dixon to run. They all say no because they saw what happened at that August convention. They saw what happened when the mob, just hurled lies about Ron Weiser. They blamed Ron Weiser for rigging the primary, something he had absolutely nothing to do with whatsoever. He wasn't on the HRCC. He wasn't on the SRCC. He had no role whatsoever in recruiting candidates. And they just made shit up and lied about him. And the mob went along with that. And they booed him. He's like, you know what? I'm out. I'm done giving millions of dollars to this ungrateful mob. That was, I mean, it wasn't the only thing, but a big reason we lost was that August convention. And the serious people, the people who are not rhinos, but are serious patriots like Rob Steele or Tudor Dixon, who had the opportunity to lead, but they're like, look, I'm not going to deal with these people. So forget it. So we have no good candidates for state chair. None. And the establishment people stayed out too. Did you notice that? Peter Hoekstra didn't run. There's no rhinos running for state chair even because they know they have no chance. So who do we have? We got Matt DePerno, who might end up in jail by the end of the next 2 years. Christina Caramo, who and I voted for her in the April convention because I think she could have been an amazing leader, speaking about some of these hardcore issues, but she never really learned it. Instead, just kind of ran on hurling carelessly speaking carelessly. She could have been a Martin Luther King figure had she really been coached on the issues and messaging, and gone out there and done that. And instead, it all fell apart. And who else do you have? People even worse. JD Glazer and he's running for state chair. No experience in politics whatsoever. He's going around the state telling these grassroots people how to overthrow their county GOP for whatever reason. They never even really say. We talked about this in previous shows. I don't want to get into this again. And then a bunch of complete nobodies. I mean, what a disaster this will be. So
Well, the candidate forums are coming up, and
Oh, I
guess
can't wait.
we'll
Can't
see.
wait.
There's one on
They've had, some of
Tuesday.
them are having, I get emails from these people, and every time I get an email, I'm just like more determined not to go to state convention. It's just so frustrating. Ugh. I don't know. I may go to get involved in the district caucuses, but that would be it. And maybe the vice chairs are going to matter. I doubt it because they just don't really have any power anyway. But yeah, just getting these emails from these people who all are, they all wrap themselves in the blanket of patriotism. But at the end of the day, they also want attention and power and money and glory and fame, and that's it. And I'm sick of them, all of them.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a lot of work to do, and we don't
Yeah.
have time for that kind of stuff, right? I mean, even
Yeah.
on lower levels than that, right?
Well, I mean, we'll see what happens in other counties. I know in my county, the good guys won at that last convention. See, we're lucky. We're 2 years ahead of everybody else. We had the crazies take over 2 years prior and destroy our party. And then so we got the good guys in this year, and we've raised more money in the past month than our county party had raised in the past year and a half. So things are looking up in our county, but yeah, elsewhere it's gonna not be good.
yeah.
But anyway,
Well, we'll
so
see in January, or what
I
is
guess the
January?
final way to
It is
close this out
January.
is it's already January. Yeah.
Yeah.
Time flies. So I guess to wrap this up, the big loser would be Michigan, America. The big winner of 2022 would be China. So
Yeah.
take that, people. Hey, I mean, look, I get no pleasure whatsoever in saying these things.
Thanks,
Paula
Paula. Yeah.
says Billy Putman. Okay, yeah, Billy Putman, the reality TV show host, who's got I think is it he or his dad who's got some weird gun charge or something. It's just what the party needs. Another drama queen. Literally a reality TV show star. Who, by the way, also, didn't he say a bunch about sending his family's money to these candidates? And I don't think he ever did. We'll have to look that up. Kent Boersma, I've never heard of him. Lena Epstein ran for Congress and lost. I've heard some things about her. I won't repeat because I'm not the source on them and I haven't verified them, but maybe we'll talk about that next week. Scott Ockney, I've never heard of. Cool Mike Farage from Grand Rapids. Yeah, sure. Look up Cool Mike on Facebook and let me know how serious you think he is. Tom Banks says, I'd like to see Perry Johnson run for chair. I've heard he was asked and turned it down. Yeah, he'd be a great chair. He's not interested. So anyway.
Well, there's 5 more days till the second deadline. We'll see. How do you,
5
last
more
minute-
days.
Last minute
Right.
contenders. We can
Yeah.
keep recruiting.
If we had any serious people who would have filed by now. So sorry to be the bearer of bad news, folks, but there you go. That was 2022. We did have some winners. There were some bright lights here and there. Here's the free speech on social media. But other than that, 2023 will be a year of hard shoe leather work and hopefully a year of discipline and organization and building and mobilization. So
Yeah,
We'll
can't
see.
wait till the last minute again, like we typically do. It's got to start now.
yeah. I mean, I think at least a part of this is that we don't have to deal with redistricting this time.
Can you pull up Paula's? Yeah.
Yeah, all 8 will be at our forum on Tuesday. And is that the one in Westland or is that something else?
Yeah, that's in Joy Manor for precinct delegates.
Joy Manor. There you go. And is that going to be live streamed? Do you know?
Paula?
Leah, Paul, let us know if it's going to be live streamed. Maybe we'll cover it. But anyway, either way, we'll see. I was going to say something else. I missed it. Oh yeah, I was talking about redistricting. Like in my own House district, we had 2 candidates who didn't file until like the day before the filing deadline.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a winnable seat. It was a seat that was it went 50-50 in 2020 between Trump and Biden. It was a winnable House seat. Had we not had candidates that didn't file until the last minute. Oh, there we go. There will be a live stream. So maybe we will cover it. I don't know. So that won't be an issue this time. We need candidates that start knocking on doors early, like this summer. And in the meantime, building precinct organizations. That's going to be a huge focus of ours, is building precinct organizations. Instead of trying to conquer the world and conquer the state and conquer your county, see if you can conquer your neighborhood first. You might find you can find 10 people in your precinct who think the way you do and care about what's going on in this country. And 10 activists in a precinct is a big deal. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot to make a big difference.
That's my goal too in our county party,
Same here.
county
My goal-
district party, whatever.
I don't know if I
County
mentioned, I am the
district party.
executive director of Washtenaw County now. So
Well, I'm
my-
nothing. I'm nothing.
well, hopefully not for long.
I'm a
But
precinct
my goal is
delegate.
150 precinct organizations in my county. which has
Yeah.
150 precincts, including every precinct in Ann Arbor. So that'll be a tough goal to hit, but we're going to shoot for it. All right, guys. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. I appreciate it. We are back to our regular show. We will be back next weekend and possibly on Tuesday night as well. We'll see
I'll be
about
at
that.
the
I'll figure-
event in person on Tuesday. So
Oh, you will? Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Well, maybe I don't know. See, the problem with covering them live is that
Good night, Paula. See you Tuesday.
people get mad when I try to talk over the candidates, and they were going to be talking the entire time. So maybe we'll do like a post event watching or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it all out. So
Oh yeah, we could do that.
yeah. All right. As always, guys, thanks for all you do for Liberty. I hope you had a great holiday week and a
I
half.
wish everyone
and,
a very happy New Year. And
Yep. Thank you guys all for
Thank you.
staying in the fight. It's not easy to do, but things are gonna start heating up really quick, and we're gonna
Thanks,
need
Richard.
everybody. We're gonna need everybody getting back into the swing of things real soon. So, thanks everybody. See you all next week.
okay,
Peace.
good night.